Hello and welcome back to SHRM Session 6, Part 2. This lesson will cover everything you need to know about critical thinking and critical analysis. Your learning outcome for this lesson is revolved around critical thinking. You will learn how to practice critical thinking and also understand what it is, get to know language used in critical thinking, and be aware of barriers to critical thinking. Critical thinking. Take a minute and think. What is critical thinking? It is the ability to analyze a problem and present a solution. Simple. The word critical implies that your intelligence is applied to a specific issue or problem. This means that you will have to weigh up options to arrive at a reasonable conclusion. It is important to know what is and what isn't critical thinking. Critical thinking is incisive, it sees through complexity and obscurity, it is logical, it develops evidence towards a clear position, and it is deep, involves higher level of skills of analysis, synthesis, and judgment. However, it is not disorganized, it is not a haphazard collection of ideas, it is not prejudiced, that means it doesn't ignore evidence on one side of an issue, and it is not unsubstantiated. That means it doesn't fail to take account of any evidence. Critical thinking and criticism. Most of us associate the word critical with something negative, negative comments on something or someone. But there is a difference between critical thinking and criticism or criticizing. Criticizing is negative connotations, as in to find fault. However, in the academic sphere, it is not the same. Here, to criticize something is to see and explain both sides, the positives and negatives of something. Also, there is always an action or an outcome in business academia. Without a conclusion, critical thinking is wasted. Barriers to critical thinking. Students are inherently opposed to critical thinking for many reasons. Many stemming from human beings' natural resistance to learn how to think critically. For instance, a student will require the teacher, who they consider to be an expert on the subject, give answers, the right answers. But in order to make students critical thinkers, the teacher will ask students to challenge the teacher's answers and construct students' own answers through active questioning. That's a lot of work. And it's different to just listening to a lecture and taking notes. Language. When you are writing an assignment in which you must critically analyze something, using the correct language is important. Avoid words that imply that there are no exemptions. For example, don't use words like always, never, all, and every. Why? Because you will never know the full picture. There is no guarantee at all that the evidence you have is the only evidence there is. Try using hedging language to show that there can be other possibilities and that you are open to the fact that there can be more to what you're saying. Because a critical thinker is always a learner, and learners know that there is always something new to learn. Use words such as seems like, looks as if, suggests that, appears that, could or could not, may or may not, might or might not. Pitfalls to avoid. Common pitfalls when it comes to critical thinking are rushing to conclusions, generalizing, oversimplifying, personalizing something, thinking in terms of stereotypes, believing propaganda. Basically, when you practice critical thinking, it is essential to have a clear mind, a blank page, and being free from opinion and always being open. Some homework for you. On your own, practice a little bit of critical thinking with this simple exercise. Today, chocolate is lauded for its tremendous antioxidant potential. The higher the cocoa content, the more health benefits there are, and the less sugar content, which is overall better for health. So, this means that I can eat as much as I like, right? Critically analyze this phase.